Chris? Eddie, what's your thoughts on that overall? Did you think you were unlucky in terms of some decisions and the way the game went?
Yeah, very much so. Can't look past the penalty for me. I just, was hugely disappointed with that decision and how they've reached that decision between them. I mean, for me it's a clear penalty. Jacobs had his shirt ripped off his back near enough. Goes down in the box, a clear penalty. Now, even if the referee doesn't give it on the pitch, I can sort of understand that, but then VAR should see it and at least make the referee go and review his own decision, because I think if he does, he realises he's got it wrong.
Did you get an explanation for it from
No.
the officials?
No.
Just in the centre.
Eddie, you said stick the football, of course, that's your job. But yesterday in Saudi Arabia, 81 people were executed in the largest mass execution in years. I saw a lot of Saudi flags fluttering in your section there today. I mean, what do you think of that as a fact? And they are bankrolling your football team.
I'm just going to answer questions on the game and on football. I'm still bitterly disappointed from the defeat, so I think it's only right that I stick to football.
Scott Wilson.
What about the incident in the first half, Eddie, the yellow card? Did you think that could have been a red?
I think it could have been a red, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it should have been a red. I think it's one of those decisions. I think Dan thinks it's a clear red. Obviously, he's on the pitch. I've seen it again. As I say, it could have been given, but for me, the one that I'm most disappointed with, and I cannot understand with VAR how it's not been given, is the penalty.
Eddie, sorry. It seemed that with the different circumstances of both clubs, the ownerships are very much in the spotlight. It seemed that this match, the football itself, it started off at least kind of secondary, but then the incident with Havertz and Dan Burn seemed to ignite something, and by the end of it, there was a properly kind of feisty tempo to this match. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I think there was an edge to the game, definitely. I think that was there. I think we are desperate for points and we're desperate to win and achieve. And Chelsea under Thomas are desperate for the same. So just purely from a football perspective, you've got two teams that have got different aims, but real competitors. And I thought that's where I have to compliment my team on what we delivered in the first half was very, very good. I think we've slightly faded physically in the second half. The squad is very stretched at the moment. We had a couple of illnesses late last night, which rocked our preparations really, but players stepped up and gave a very good display.
I can ask as well, just obviously the gentleman's question there about the executions, I know that's not really your remit, but just in a wider sense, how you feel having to sit there after a match and deal with questions like this, because Thomas Tuchel has the same at the moment, he's having to deal with that as well. Questions that are really so far off your kind of above your pay grade. How do you feel about it?
I know I'm here to manage the football team and coach the football team, so I'm well aware of what's going on around the world, but my focus is on trying to produce a team to win football matches and get enough points to stay in the league, and that's all I'll talk about.
But it is your ultimate boss, Mohammed bin Salman, who was responsible for this though. You work for him, ultimately he sits at the top of the company, so you can understand why we do ask these questions.
I don't know what to answer to that. I'm going to talk football. That's all I'm concerned with.
Do you never reflect on these bigger questions? I mean, given how the club is used and how football is being used politically, they're fair questions precisely because of that.
I think I've made my position clear.
Miles?
You were missing one or two players today. Could you just give us an update on the two through illness and children?
Yeah, so Joe was close to this game but didn't quite make it. He started to train with us yesterday but couldn't complete the session, and then we lost Joe and Joe Willock very late last night due to illness, so that meant a complete tactical reshuffle really this morning. We only had two centre midfielders to pick from through the whole squad, so that obviously meant as I say, a very late reshuffle, but you wouldn't know it from the performance. That's the biggest credit I can give the players today. They've really committed to what we've asked them to do, and tactically I thought we were very good.
Joel, you sort of follow up on Sean Longstaff and his start this afternoon.
Yeah, I thought he did very well. Him and Bruno, I thought together as a two did fine. I think defensively very good. I felt we could have used the ball better today. That's probably my criticism of the team. But certainly we focused on being very difficult to play against and being difficult to score against, and I thought those two players definitely contributed to that.
As Dan Burn, who came off the pitch, he looked a little disappointed, because I think it was he lost Kai Havertz for the goal. Is he okay? Is he a bit downbeat?
Well, he's got a nasty cut on his head, so I don't think he suffered any concussion or anything like that, but I think it was a nasty looking cut. But I think Dan, since he's come through the door, has been absolutely exceptional in every way. I'm sure you've seen what I've seen in terms of his leadership on the pitch and the way that he's performed for the team. So no, he's been outstanding.
Take two more guys. We'll go back to three more. Chris, Kieran, and front.
Eddie, early in the season, you wrote to the Premier League to ask for clarification on some decisions. I mean, obviously you've had some decisions against you again today. Will you look for further clarification on that? Or?
I don't know how I feel right now. I'm at a loss to explain their decision-making process, how they've come to that. There's obviously a flaw in how they've worked that today, because I think anyone, whatever team you support, will see that and go, that's a penalty. So I think it's usually a waste of energy, these things. So we'll wait and see.
Kieran?
Eddie, there's a lot of emotion when that goal went in. Thomas took a dart in front of the bench. Were you annoyed at all by that reaction? Does it show how far the team's come, how much it meant to Newcastle and take it this far, or can you take comfort from?
I don't think there was anything directed at us. It's just that moment where from his perspective, he scored late in the game. I didn't see it as disrespectful. I've got a lot of respect for Thomas and how he works and how he conducts himself. So no, I understand these things happen, and he was caught in his moment. From our side, I was hugely disappointed because we didn't really have, it was so late in the game that we didn't have a chance to respond. And when you've been on an unbeaten run that we have, it was just difficult timing for us and difficult to accept. But we have to. That's football.
Eddie, just briefly on Newcastle's not had the best of runs at this stadium. I know you're new through the door of the club, but I wonder if you think that's kind of the closest you've probably taken Chelsea, or Newcastle have taken Chelsea for a long time at Stamford Bridge, whether there's positives to be taken from that.
Well, there's definitely positives from the performance against one of the top teams in the league. We've performed very strongly, and I think it was an even game. I think we have to take the positives from that, knowing that we're getting stronger in most aspects of our game, while acknowledging there's still a lot to improve.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.